so crazy. Like, when you work with the environment, when you work with the animals in the area and the plants, everything balances itself out. That's the thing about nature, is it's harmonious. If it's not in harmony, it's because we're disrupting the harmony, because for some reason humans are so out of tune with nature and natural life and cycles that we disrupt things. And so,
hi, welcome to Humane Experience. I'm Haley.
I'm Kylie.
And this is going to be our New Year's special. We're so excited to talk to you about how our goals have been going, because me and Kylie actually decided to do some joint goals together this year. It helps so much to have a friend to do it with and a buddy to just hold you accountable and to go through the experience together.
Yeah. No, for sure. You gave me a high five the other day for doing all my goals, and I was like, I feel good. It's so funny how those little things like make such a big difference, because otherwise I probably wouldn't do the goals at all, and it feels really good to like know that we're doing it together.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everyone what our goals have been this year?
Yeah. So we've done something similar before, and I felt so good, and I was like, let's do it again. And so we're doing Raw Till 4, which is like, you know, no cooked foods, obviously plant-based, we're vegan, so like fruits and vegetables, smoothies for breakfast, salads for lunch, raw nuts and seeds, and that's until 4. And then so basically it's like breakfast, lunch, raw, and then you can have a cooked dinner. And what's really nice about it is like, I really like how healthy I'm eating, and then I don't crave as unhealthy of foods at the end of the day. And like before when we did it, I was eating chips, and I was eating a lot of chips sometimes. Like I noticed I was craving like fats and protein and stuff, and so I was like, oh, I need to incorporate more nuts and avocados in my diet and stuff. But this time we decided no chips.
Yeah.
And it's been a little hard. That's probably been the hardest part. And then, what are we doing? We looked up the amount of water for like an adult woman is, I think, 9 cups of water a day. So we just kind of pushed that. Yeah. So we pushed that a little bit further, 10 cups. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been keeping the best track, but I have an idea of about how much 10 cups of water is, because I did measure it a couple times, and I've been drinking at least close to that. And then, yeah, the no chips. And then yoga every night, and it doesn't matter how mild it is. We just decided to do something like pretty mild, pretty easy. We're kind of basing it off of like a 75 hard.
Yes, yeah. So a few years back, I tried the 75 hard challenge. I believe it was started by Andy Frisella, and the idea is that it's to build discipline and mental toughness. And you do 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes, 1 outdoor, 1 indoor, or they can both be outdoor. And then you drink a gallon of water, read 10 pages of a book, take a progress photo, and you have to follow a diet. And so for me, the worst part of that was the diet. I was like, oh, I do not want to have to follow a diet. Like, I want to do this challenge. But to me, dieting is just associated with restriction and not feeling good and not being able to eat certain things. But I remembered a diet that was started by Freely the Banana Girl that's called Raw Till 4. And she had always talked about eating as much as you can and like getting enough calories and like telling young girls you're probably not eating enough, which to me, when I first went vegan and found her page, that helped me a lot, because I had always been told like to eat less, and like, you know, society wants us to always be like smaller, and we think we have to not eat in order to be slim. And so for her, like eating a bunch and she still was slim and looked good, I was like, okay, I took that message, and I ate a lot as a vegan. Even though I couldn't really go on like a high raw diet at the time, I still took the message of eating a lot, and so I felt great when I went vegan. And so I was like, if I have to do a diet, I'm gonna try this one, because I love fruit, and like her whole idea was like, you can eat a whole meal of fruit for breakfast and for lunch. And I'm like, okay, sign me up, like let me try it. And I felt so good doing it. And then I ended up getting Kylie to try it with me later on.
Yeah, ours was like is it called 75 because it's 75 days?
Yeah, oh yeah, so I didn't explain that part of the challenge. With 75 hard, you're supposed to do it for 75 days, and if you miss anything on the list or you mess up, you have to start over from day 1. And so I never actually made it the 75 days because I kept having to start over. I think the farthest I made was like 21, 22 days or something like that.
That's pretty good.
It was still, I was impressed by myself for that, but like, maybe I'll try it again one day. It was hard. Like with a job too, I was having to like combine my breaks. Like I would combine my lunch with my 15-minute break and go for a run on my lunch. Like it was so hard, which is why it's called 75 hard. But when we did it, we made it a little more mild.
We made it more of a 30 easy. Because it was just a month. Yeah. And the thing is like, I told her, I was like, if I have to push myself so hard that I'm not gonna feel good about what I'm doing, I feel like it completely defeats the purpose. Yeah. I'm doing all of this because I want to feel good, so I'm not gonna be hard on myself. I'm just not like that. I can be hard on myself in other ways. I've had a lot of hard things happen in my life. I'm like, I want to challenge myself in a fun and easy and rewarding way. And so if I'm beating myself up because I didn't get to 75 days of being perfect, that's not gonna feel good to me. And so I like the idea of like being more like mild on myself and making things a little bit more reasonable, especially as a working adult, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like these influencers that come up with stuff like this, like, don't have jobs, or that is their job. Yeah. That's great. If that is your job, like, yeah. If I could get paid to, like, you know, challenge myself, like, by all means, I would. Right. That's not my job. I am a mom, and I have responsibilities that are, you know,
life is challenging enough.
Exactly.
So we just want goals that are gonna make life a little easier, make, you know, improve our mental health, and those kind of things. Like it's not about like, oh, you're not good enough, you feel like shit. It's like, you are good enough. That's why you should do these good things out of self-love, like fueling your body with foods that are loving and moving your body in ways that are loving. And we haven't been perfect on our goals. I mean, we're only a week in and I've already messed up so many times.
I have too. I said the first like 3 days was like trial period because I had forgotten about the water and I forgot about the yoga. Did I? Yeah, we were doing yoga before bed. Oh, and then 10 pages of a book, which is another one. Like over the weekends I've been really good, but then like during the week I've had a little bit harder of a time with it, but I'm just gonna keep going. Like it was funny because like our like third day in, we ate more chips because we had a New Year's Eve party where we were like, let's eat chips since we're not gonna eat chips in January. And then she pulled out her tortilla chips and I was like, oh, you're gonna eat some chips? And she's like, yeah, I just want to finish these so they don't go bad and stuff. And so I think we had like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the bag left, and we sat there, I pulled out some salsa, we finished some, you know, corn tortilla chips, not even that bad. Yeah. And we ate those third day in, and then I was like, okay. And then I've eaten chips like a couple times, like my daughter was eating some vegan nachos, and I was like, I'm gonna eat a couple bites of those. Same thing again, it was some corn tortilla chips with like pretty healthy, like whole food ingredients, like on the nachos from Hardy B. So yeah.
And then there's been a few days that I've had sweet potatoes around lunchtime because I just wasn't like full enough from the fruit, or I probably didn't like have enough calories. But eating sweet potatoes for lunch is still so good and like so healthy. So the thing is, if you shoot for the moon, then you'll land among the stars, because as corny as that sounds, if you set high goals and high expectations for yourself, you'll end up somewhere in the middle of where you are now and what those expectations are, even though you're not gonna meet them perfectly right away. And so that's why it's good not to beat yourself up, but just to build better habits. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do this year, and starting off with a little challenge this month. But we'll see how long we go with it, because we both feel so good specifically with this way of eating. it has had a huge impact on us both,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Yeah, the Raw Til 4, I have felt so mentally clear in so many ways. I'm more conscious of my emotions. And sometimes I like have like joint pain and I get grumpy, and I'll realize like way into it to the point where I'm like about to snap or have already snapped. But now eating Raw Til 4, I'm catching myself most of the time before I even get to that point, before I even get irritable. I'm like, oh, I'm starting to feel like some pain or like something bothered me and I'm getting upset about it. And I just take a deep breath and I calm down. Like, it's like I have like no brain fog. I've had so much energy. We both have like organized and cleaned our rooms this last week. Like, we didn't even talk about it. We just brought it up to each other like, oh, you organized and cleaned your room too. That's crazy. Like,
yeah,
I've cleaned like so much. It's been so awesome, like having so much energy and just feeling like I can just keep going. There's been a couple nights I didn't get like as much sleep as I normally like to, and like I end up feeling so good and refreshed from the food that I'm eating that I don't even notice that I didn't get enough sleep. I'm like, oh, I thought I was gonna be tired and have a rough day today, and I was fine. Like, it's been so awesome. Like, I think getting enough sleep is like good and important too, but like, it's been so nice that it doesn't affect me as much as it normally does.
Yeah, it's so crazy how when we fuel our body with the right foods and the things that it needs, how good it makes us feel and how big of an effect our food actually has on us and our mental clarity and our energy. And you find that you want to do all the things that you need to do instead of just having to like force yourself like, oh, I need to clean this. It's like, no, I'm like in the mood too. I want to get things done. And it also gives me empathy for people who are feeling grumpy or who are maybe like being rude or like, just like being grumpy because they probably don't feel good. You only act grumpy or mean to others when you're not feeling good yourself, because when you feel good and you feel energized and hydrated and fueled with all the antioxidants and the water and the fruits, you don't want to be grumpy or make anyone else's day bad. Like, you just want to spread love and peace and joy. Like, be a little hippie.
That's what you're feeding yourself, is all this living, like, electric food, like we talked about in one of our earlier episodes. Like, food has a vibration. If you're eating someone's dead body, zero. You're eating fear and suffering and torture, and it's dead.
Yeah.
No
and flesh, it stays in your body for days too.
Yeah.
Like, it can take 4 or 5 days for flesh to move through the human body because it has no fiber. And it sits in there and it rots and it gives you like colon cancer we were talking about. Like, it's crazy how much you can reduce your risk of colon cancer and other kinds of cancers just by going on a plant-based diet.
And heart disease, which is the #1 killer in the US. And you don't get any cholesterol at all from plant-based foods. People always like to say to me like, oh, well, what about like the oils and what? I'm like, no, there's none. Like, there's no cholesterol in plant-based foods. And people are like, oh, you need some. I'm like, no.
Your body
there's a
makes
normal range of cholesterol, like a healthy normal when you go to the doctor and they test your blood, because they're like, this level, you're not going to die and get heart disease. Like, I get my blood test taken. Have you, as a vegan? Like, my cholesterol isn't even on the chart at all. Like,
oh, really?
I have no cholesterol, and I tell people that, and they're like, that seems unhealthy. I'm like, the doctor didn't say anything. Like, if it was a problem, they'd say anything. They probably were just like, we've never seen someone with no cholesterol before, is what they're thinking. I guess. I don't know, but I have no cholesterol, and what's funny is in the normal range of protein, my protein is on the higher end, actually. Like, not the lower end even, not even out of it. Like, in the healthy range, up in the higher point. So,
The only thing I know I got tested was my iron, because it's when I was like a teenager and my mom was worried that I was low in iron because I was getting bruises, and I've always bruised easily. I don't know, like, if you know what other deficiency that might be, leave it below, because it wasn't the iron.
I think it might be vitamin C. But you do
I eat a lot of
iron.
vitamin C. Like, I eat a lot of fruit. I don't know.
I saw a chart the other day that said, like, what foods you can eat if you bruise easily, so...
But anyway, the doctor said I had no deficiencies, actually. She said I was, like, really good in everything, and my iron was on the higher levels, so... That was after being vegan over a year. I was just skateboarding at the time, so that's why I had so many bruises. It's when I started skateboarding, I was falling off my skateboard every time.
You're
so
like, I'm being a kid, I'm having fun.
But she was worried because I was vegan, and you know, people worry about if you're going to become deficient because we're so programmed to think that we need flesh and secretions from animals in order to be healthy, when they're actually doing the opposite and just taking away our health instead.
My daughter's dad was really worried when we went vegan and was like, she's gonna be malnourished and all this stuff, and I think he was just trying to make a point to make me look bad or something. But anyways, we went and got tested. Like, I, you know, at her doctor's appointment, I was like, hey, could we get like her nutrients tested? And I told like the doctor why, and she was like, oh, you guys are plant-based? She's like, we'll take it, but I'm not even worried. I bet she's healthier than most kids. Like, she probably gets way more nutrients. And like, what's interesting actually is the only thing she was low on was vitamin D. And she explained to me that that is not isolated to vegans at all. She's like, I recommend every person who doesn't live in, like, you know, on the equator where you get direct sunlight. She's like, anyone who doesn't live there, I recommend to get vitamin D supplemented, because we don't get enough. And animal products are actually supplemented with vitamin D, and so people think that they get it from animal products, but it's supplemented. So it's like, why hurt animals when you can just also take a supplement?
Right, and then the animals on the farms are supplemented too, so then you're taking a supplement through an animal taking that supplement instead of just taking the supplement yourself. Like, if you are worried about vitamin D or B12 or whatever it is.
Exactly, yeah. Same with B12, yeah. Mm-hmm. Cut out the cruel middleman and just take supplements. That's the thing, is like, we don't live in natural places. Our soil is depleted. Like, it's not like people are like, oh, vegans need a supplement. It's like, no, anybody who knows about our food system and knows, like, is educated on nutrition in a healthy way is going to understand that we should supplement. Like, unless you're eating the healthiest food and you live on the equator, you're getting enough sunlight, like, you gotta supplement. Or you're not gonna be getting everything you need. I think
it's like a better safe than sorry kind of thing, because I think there's people who, like, maybe it depends on the health of, like, your body and your past and what it's been through. It's like, whether you can get enough vitamin D just from being in the sun, or whether you can, like, absorb enough of your own B12 that your body makes or whatever. Like, maybe not everybody needs it, but then there are people who end up, you know, becoming deficient. And so I would say get tested, especially if you're not feeling well in any way. Then you could see if maybe it would be a deficiency. But otherwise, I haven't been tested since the time that I was as a teenager. I just haven't felt the need to. And like, I don't personally take any supplements on a regular basis. Like, I will say that I have taken.
I forget all the time. I've got B12, I've got vitamin D, and I'll get like really good about taking them for like a week, couple weeks, sometimes a month even, and then I don't take them.
Well, and I hounded you about it a few years back when I first started supplementing, because I had just like got more into like nutrition and I'd been reading books and stuff, and so I was like, okay, like, I should be safe and I should take a B12 supplement. At this point, I'd been vegan like 6 years and I hadn't taken any supplements. So, like, I'm not saying I promote that, but I'm just saying, like, you're not going to die next week. If you go vegan and you don't have a B12 supplement yet, it's okay. Just start, and then you can figure out the supplements later if that's something that you want to do. But yeah, I started taking the B12 and the D, and then I got on Kylie about it just because I had heard this study about, like, kids specifically, like, having B12 deficiencies and stuff. And again, it wasn't just the vegans, it was like most of the kids that were tested. And so it's just like, oh, you know, I was just like worrying about like your kid and stuff, and I'm just like, oh.
I appreciate it, because like, I want to make sure my kid's healthy, and even if we weren't vegan, that's something that I would care about, you know. And like, yeah, so I found a nice like liquid one. I gave it to her this morning. She took a B12 and an iron supplement this morning. She was so grumpy and did not want to go to school today. And then I was like, okay, maybe she like needs some extra nutrients. Like, you know, kids, like she's vegan, she's not a picky eater, but like sometimes she doesn't drink enough water, sometimes she like gets so excited about doing other stuff, she doesn't eat enough because she's like, okay, I'm done eating, let me go play, you know, whatever.
She's always like distracted, like,
yeah.
I don't know, a lot of kids are probably like that. But
more than other kids I've noticed, like I'll be like, oh, she doesn't eat like but much, and she's like more slim like I am and stuff, but like, you know, we'll be in a situation with like a couple other kids, they'll even be like kids of like, you know, from different families and stuff. She'll be the least picky, she'll eat the most food of all of them every single time. It's so crazy. I'm like, okay, so
that's true. She can eat a lot. She just like doesn't want to stop playing sometimes.
She just loves playing. She's so active. She has so much energy. It's insane. She's bouncing off the walls all day. Like,
yeah. One other thing I noticed before starting this new year is that I was struggling with caffeine. Like I had started drinking energy drinks and like getting them at work because I'd be tired, and I have not felt the need for that since I've been doing Raw Til 4. The only thing I have been doing some mornings is making little matcha lattes for myself, and I've been using this Sun Warrior matcha and mushroom powder. It's really good, and
it's very good.
We both have a little bit right now. But yeah. Other than that, like throughout the day, my energy's so good. I don't like crash, and my sleep has been better too. Actually, I've noticed my sleep's been a little bit better. But yeah, overall we feel great.
Sometimes like trying to do goals can be really daunting, and especially at the beginning of the year, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and that's why like, you know, we talk about like not doing it perfectly, but just like even if you mess up, just keep going. Be proud of yourself, do good. But if I'm gonna invite you to do any goal this year, it would be to go vegan, obviously. If you go vegan right now and you're vegan for a whole year, the amount, so you can look up a vegan calculator on your phone. There's a bunch of different websites. All of them are gonna vary just like a little bit. It's obviously an approximate amount. But it gives you an idea of how much of an impact you're making, and you can see it like firsthand by yourself how much of an impact you're making, which is so awesome. Let's say you just do 1 week. So 7 days, you go vegan today, a week from now, 29,147 liters of water, 127 kilograms of grain, 20 square meters of forested land, 64 kilograms of CO2, and 2 animal lives. And that's just 1 week. That's so amazing. So I was thinking we should do how long we've been vegan.
Ooh, good idea.
I don't know if you want to read off mine. We'll start with mine because I've been vegan for 5 years. So.
All right, Kylie. So in 5 years, you have saved 7,599,117 liters of water.
Whoa, that's a lot.
33,033 kilograms of grain. 5,111 square meters of forested land, 16,608 kilograms of CO2, and 402 animal lives.
Oh my gosh. Wait, say the animals one again.
402.
Aw, that's so cool. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, myself as a kid and how much I love animals and how much, like, I love the earth and being an environmentalist, and I'm like thinking about like saying all of this to like me as a little child. I'm like, girl, we're doing it. Like, it's so amazing to think that like something so easy as switching around what I eat and making a few different lifestyle choices makes such a huge impact. Like, it's so beautiful that we can do this.
Over 400 animals.
Wow. I can't even, like, that's so many, like, that haven't been bred into existence because I'm not feeding the supply and demand of killing other beings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so amazing. Okay, now let's look up Haley's, because you've been vegan 9 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have saved 13,678,411 liters of water, 59,459 kilograms of grain, 9,198 square meters of forested land, 29,894 kilograms of CO2. Ready for the animals? 723 animal lives.
Oh my gosh, that's so many animals.
Yeah, that's so many. Like,
what the heck? I've never done a calculator like this before.
I think it's so cool that, like, you can, like, easily look up the impact that you're making, because, like, sometimes it feels like we're not doing anything, and sometimes it feels like, like, not that I would ever, like, go back on being vegan, but sometimes it just feels like I'm not making a difference. I'm not making enough of a difference. But when you look at these numbers, like, just ours combined is so many.
Yeah.
Hundreds of just you and me, since both of us have been vegan, that's over 1,000 animals.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then I'm pretty sure this is just for food too. So, like, it's not including all the other ways that we don't exploit animals, and then the activism, like the protests we do, and the fact that, you know, maybe people have gone vegan. I don't know. I've turned a couple of people vegan. I think maybe you have too.
I have too. My whole family's vegan, except for a few people. But yeah, most of my family's vegan. So
yeah, I have a couple friends. I wouldn't say I turned them vegan, but who I feel like I was part of the influence for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, someone who I was in a relationship with that's still vegan. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm like the guy I'm dating right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's vegan and he wasn't when I met him, and it's so funny because he went from like, I could never go vegan. I just can't imagine my life ever not eating chicken nuggets again. And it's so funny because now it's been over a year since he said that, and he's like, I said that? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, there's vegan chicken nuggets. Why would I say that? I was like, because you didn't know about the vegan chicken nuggets.
Yes. I was telling someone just the other day, they asked me if it was hard being vegan, and I was like, once I realized vegan chicken nuggets are a thing, I realized I was going to be just fine, because I love chicken nuggets. And now I get the Morningstar vegan chicken nuggets.
You know, being gluten-free is rough because I can't just like eat some of the vegan meat alternatives, but I have made like tofu, and I try to season it and like marinate it first, because tofu can be kind of plain, obviously, if you don't do anything to it. It's kind of the point of tofu, is all the versatile things you can do with it.
Yeah.
But then I bread it with like nutritional yeast, or you can get some gluten-free like flour, like even like ground up some gluten-free pretzels and like bread it with that. Like, there's so many fun things that you can do with plant-based foods. Like,
oh yeah, you can get so creative and make all kinds of meats that aren't made of dead animals, and they taste good. It's just so crazy to me that people still bring up crop deaths as an argument, knowing, like, thinking of how many animals we have saved, like,
yeah,
or how many animals didn't die because of us. It's like all of those animals that were on farms, we have to feed them something. And so by going vegan, you actually dramatically reduce your crop deaths as well.
Just crop deaths, not even the animals that you're killing to eat. Like, it's so weird to me that people use that as an excuse to not go vegan. Like, okay, you're gonna kill like 3 times as many animals just because me as a vegan, I eat plant foods from a farm that could be more careful about their farming practices. We have a ways to go. We are not perfect. Our society has so many flaws. I need to eat to survive. We all do.
Yeah.
But we don't need to beat ourselves up or not make better progress because of a flaw in the system. There's farms that do everything that they can to reduce or eliminate crop deaths. It's so awesome. Lundberg Farms is something I always tell people every time they bring up crop deaths, because Lundberg Farms, they sell rice. They have rice farms. They started noticing that ducks would nest in their farms like over the winter. If I'm telling the story right, I'm just going off of memory. It's on their website, but they were like, oh, we don't want to kill these ducks. And so they started like protecting the ducks and letting them live on the rice farms and taking, like making sure, not taking care of them, but just letting them live and protecting them. And what they realized is their use of having to like keep bugs off of the plants went down so far. I think possibly to the point where they don't have to use pesticides because the ducks eat bugs. Like, it's so crazy. Like, when you work with the environment, when you work with the animals in the area and the plants, everything balances itself out. That's the thing about nature, is it's harmonious. If it's not in harmony, it's because we're disrupting the harmony, because for some reason humans are so out of tune with nature and natural life and cycles that we disrupt things. And so like hunters will say, oh, to be conservative, I go out and kill animals. That is like an excuse. Conserving by killing is just like, I will never not argue that that's like ridiculous.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. And so
if you want to go into overpopulation, we all know what the most overpopulated species is. So if you want to start hunting for overpopulation, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, because it's like you're going to end up in jail as a murderer. If we're talking about overpopulation, humans are overpopulating, because the only reason that there's any problem with overpopulation in animals, it's because of humans.
How are we going to call any wild animal overpopulated when they make up less than 4% of the biomass on the planet, which is all of the living, sentient beings on the planet? It's less than 4%. You can't call any wild species overpopulated, in my opinion. The most overpopulated species are the animals that we farm. And then I think people really don't understand the perspective of why animal farming is so unsustainable and why it uses so much land. But there's, over 8 billion people on the planet?
Oh, you know what? Yeah. So there's 8 billion people, and then there's, how many animals is it that are killed in farming every year?
In a week, people are killing about 2 animals, and there's over 8 billion people, so I mean, we should Google it. I think there's a calculator
that you can look up how many animals.
How many animals? I'll just say how many are farmed, because, there's obviously tons of fish that we pull out of the ocean as well.
Oh, yeah, that's like in the billions.
Trillions.
Like, a week.
Yeah.
I think it's in billions
a week. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know it's trillions a year.
Every year. Like, it's such an unfathomable amount. And people are like, save the ocean, don't eat with straws. And it's like, no, stop eating anyone out of the ocean. Like, duh.
So, according to Our World data, more than 100 billion animals are killed for meat every year. So that's hundreds of millions of animals every day.
And that's right at the top of this worlddata.org.
And that's just how many are killed. That's not even how many exist.
That's not even how many exist.
And we have to feed all of those animals until they're ready to kill, which is only typically a few years. All the animals we slaughter are babies. We just, get them to grow really fast. And
so that's where the number, when we were looking up, like, as a vegan, what you say when it was talking about grain, it's talking about the feed for animals.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I want people to understand when they bring up crop deaths, or vegans are killing animals too because you're eating plants that end up killing bugs and stuff. We're using a lot less grain because it's very inefficient to feed grain to another animal to get significantly less calories out of their flesh, because obviously they're using that energy, expending it throughout the day. Only a small percentage is stored in their flesh. And we could be feeding that grain or using that land that we're feeding grain to grow other crops to feed people who are hungry, because they've done the math, and if all of the grain that we feed to animals was fed to people who are hungry, there would be no world hunger.
Yeah.
There doesn't need to be hunger, but we're using so much land to raise animals and to grow their food.
I think that a great definition of being greedy is eating animals, because the amount of resources, like they're cutting down forests, they're using grain to feed animals to get significantly less calories, like you were saying. Like, if we fed all that grain to people, it would feed so many more people than the animals that people are eating. It is greedy to eat animals. It is greedy to farm them. It is greedy to breed them into existence.
It's greedy to think that it's your right to take someone else's life from them.
Yeah. That's because, what are people always saying? Like, it's not eating that. Is it greedy, or is it like gluttonous? Or
gluttonous is when you're just like, eating in a way that's greedy, I guess.
Yeah. So that would be gluttonous in my opinion. Like, I'm good.
If you want to go vegan in 2026, or if you want to try it out in January, at least as a start, you really shouldn't just do January. You should just be vegan forever. I don't even want to promote Veganuary. I know me and you were talking about
I don't want to promote it as just some fun diet challenge. Like, this is something that is so necessary for not being a harmful person. Like, humans are parasites in the world. I will not stop talking about that. I've said it before, I will say it again.
Yeah.
Be as least of a parasite as possible. It's easy enough to choose plant-based foods and wear plant-based clothing, and not harm animals, and the significant effects that it helps the earth and people, because it helps the food go around to people instead of animals that we're breeding into existence. Like, being vegan helps everyone and your own body. Like, it just makes sense. It's 2026.
And if you want to feel amazing, fill up on fruits, drink a great smoothie. I'm going to leave a video of me at the end of this actually making my smoothie that I've been drinking every morning, because I took a video of it yesterday. But whatever your goals are, just aim high and don't beat yourself up if you don't reach your goals. Just keep trying. Always try to be a better version of yourself every day, and be better for the animals. Be part of the solution on the planet and not part of the problem, okay? Don't be a virus.
Exactly.
All right, everybody, have a great year. Thanks so much for joining us. I am currently making my morning smoothie. I've been making the same smoothie since the start of the new year. So it's been blueberries, banana, and then I do a scoop of this Sun Warrior green powder and water. So pretty simple. And then that's a great way to start off the day. Some advice for anyone who's wanting to try Raw Til 4 is don't drink a bitch smoothie. You need to drink a big smoothie, because that's how you're gonna get all the calories and all of the energy that you need for the day. So I'm gonna drink this whole smoothie.